Hi, and welcome to week 5 in review when we talked about peer relationships. So, we had really three things this week that people contributed to. First was observations. We had two mall observations, one observation from the BMCC cafeteria, one observation from the BMCC library, one observation from Angelina's Bakery, which makes me want to go have a cup of coffee, and one observation from another coffee shop. I am a big coffee shop person. So that we have basically an even split. Two malls, two at BMCC, and two coffee shops slash bakeries. Um, so thank you for diving into your observations. Then for the teen movie analysis, we had several people reviewed Mean Girls. Several people reviewed The Hate You Give. One person reviewed Boys in the Hood, and one person reviewed the movie 13. I appreciated your insights. Several people made videos. Some people shared a paper. Some people shared an audio recording. Many people connected the constructs to identity development and talked about the different myths. Most people gave the movies between 8.5, 8 and 8.5 and 10. So we were very generous raters. And sometimes I said, "You're talking so well," in my feedback, I said, "You're talking so highly of the movie. How come you're not giving it a 10, right?" And I appreciated the very thoughtful, insightful responses that you shared. In relation to participation task on for week 5 for peer relationships, people talked about how they rotated through peer groups during their adolescence. Other people talked about how they had like one BFF or one like ride or die friend through thick and thin. And even though they might have gone and connected with different people, they had that one person who was like that was their person. People talked about how peer relationships impacted them positively, academics, sports, socializing, having picnics, but also the negative impacts of peer relationships, violence, smoking, and other negative things. People talked about how peer relationships and who you hang out with can impact how others perceive you, how teachers perceive you. And many people mentioned how the need for belonging is so powerful. The need for belonging is powerful to all humans, to all people. Um, in adolescence, it is intensely stronger, right? Adolescents have this overwhelming need to belong. Um, does that have to do with identity development? Probably. Does it have to do with biology, puberty, the changes that are happening? Probably. Are there other factors that are involved? Probably. But it seems that need to belong is even more powerful in adolescence. People talked about the difference between peer pressure and peer influence and how peer pressure and peer influence changed at different times in their life. When the person who reviewed the movie 13 talked about a scene where the main character, who is 13, gets her tongue pierced because of peer pressure. I have not seen the movie 13. So I did not know that was part of the movie, but wow, that is serious peer pressure. And then people shared the roles that teachers had. Some people thought that teachers have a true responsibility to support healthy peer relationships if students are being bullied and to really serve as protectors. Others said mediators. Um, some people said remain neutral and not to take sides. Um, I think I appreciate clearly we don't want to, show partiality. We don't want to take sides when there are situations happening, but we also want to ensure the safety and well-being of students that we work with, right? And we know that bullying can have tragic consequences. And many people talked about the negative impact of peer relationships in their lives. So I just invite us to reflect on that. Last, people talked about different activities related to groups, um, students engaging in role plays, and activities for students to get to know each other and build a team connection among each other, as well as empathy. People shared activities that would support empathy development, recognizing their emotions and sharing them um, anonymously in some way. So I appreciate your thoughtful contributions to our learning community, and I look forward to what you will share in week 6. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Be well.